I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by my co-host with Harrison Bader like hair.
Yeah, it's a weird ordeal. Katie is just proving to be childish.
Which is why I don't feel I would give $5 million to Jack Campbell.
I don't know. Baseball is one of those sports where anyone who makes the playoffs really can be a contender.
I think the Padres definitely do it.
I don't think Donovan Mitchell gets traded.
Kyrie Irving does have the track record of not being a great locker room fit, or even good locker room fit.
Bader got some luscious locks. I gotta say it.
This is Zach Bigley, the broadcaster for the Frisco Rough Riders, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin. You guys better subscribe.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. A lot has happened this week for MLB Opinions of the Week, but one of them was the home run derby prediction. And Austin, we got to take the L on it because you and I both agreed. Cal Raleigh, he's too busy hitting homers in the regular season. He's not going to do it in the home run derby.
We both had him advancing, though, at least.
Yeah.
So we didn't do that bad.
We didn't do that
He only survived by 0.08 feet.
Yeah, that was insane. Just kind of, yes, it was the longer homer, but it literally came down.
0.08 feet.
0.08 feet. So that would be 8 inches.
Right? 0.08 feet?
0.08 feet?
If a foot is 12 inches.
Yeah.
It is 0.08 feet.
So it's less than an inch.
Yeah, it's 0.96 inches.
Dang. So yeah, less than an inch led him. Yeah, I was surprised because I was like, oh. Because thinking about it, if you're just looking at it,
it's funny though because I had Brent Rooker and Cal Raleigh both advancing, so I was happy either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that being the deciding part was definitely funny.
Yeah, and I do find it it's unique that who did Caminero? He only had to do like 8 swings in the semifinal.
Oh, because of Buxton. Buxton only had 7 home runs. But in the first round, Buxton had 20, which was the second most. Well, no, because 2 guys tied for 21, and then Buxton was at 20. So Buxton was 1 homer off getting the tie for the most. But in the second round, he just couldn't come across.
Yeah, and so they were, I don't know what, I missed the beginning, but I caught the end of it. And it was just as Cal Raleigh was hitting. But what broadcast, or did you watch highlights of it?
I watched highlights of it.
Okay.
After every round, MLB.com posted their a round recap, and I watched it. Let's just say the Jazz one was not that long.
Yeah. Because I heard about that, and I was curious if you watched it live, because I watched ESPN 2, where they're doing a lot of stats, and they were talking about they're just harping on, well, Caminero has a lot of rest, like he could win. And I thought that was a unique thing of with this new type. It is relatively new, this format.
With the rest, you get cold.
Yeah.
So I don't know what really the advantage is in the home run derby. I would rather had to hit a lot of swings, though, because I feel like you're hot at that point. And while it is kind of an endurance challenge, it's not as endurance as the 3-point competition where you're shooting a lot of shots consecutively.
Yeah, and it is they get a timeout, but the real key is the pitcher, and do they get tired throwing all those pitches?
Sure, but I think it's more consistency because you're going to be able to throw the ball pretty across. They may get tired, but they're not throwing the ball that hard, so it's not really the end of the world. But it's just how accurate are their throws, because there's sometimes. Jazz took 8 pitches in his time. So, and those you only get 40 pitches, I believe. So those are pitches that go to waste.
Yes, that is very true. Yeah, you do get that amount. I'm looking at my predictions right now because we both had Buxton winning. Yeah, I had Buxton versus Cruz. Yeah, none of I guess O'Neal Cruz and Cal Raleigh were the 4 to advance for me. Or the only 2 that advanced. Well, and Buxton too. But
yeah, let me check mine really quickly if I can.
Because I had James Wood versus Buxton, and then Raleigh versus Cruz. And Buxton versus Cruz in the final. Buxton with
Oh,
32 homers.
yeah. I had Buxton. What was that? I had Buxton, Jazz, Brent Rooker, and Cal Raleigh. Brent Rooker and Cal Raleigh were going to eliminate each other. So
Mhm.
I had two of the guys that survived. But my final was going to be Buxton versus Jazz, which neither of those guys made it that far. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I would say it was still entertaining. I think the thing that I forget is how long it takes.
It
for the
does
home
take a
run.
while, especially under this new format.
Mhm.
It can get pretty lengthy. I was shocked by how bad Jazz did, mainly because
Yeah.
he's been hitting a lot of home runs recently in the league, like just playing normal baseball, not when you're getting just BP. So I was surprised by that. I'm not shocked O'Neal Cruz hit the furthest home run. I thought Buxton's furthest were going to be farther because he hit one in Minnesota's park this year that was 495 or something like that. So I thought his was going to be a little bit farther. But again, I don't think you're really trying to hit the hardest ball. I think there's a reason why O'Neal Cruz didn't win it. Is because I think it's more about consistently hitting the ball hard, but not as hard as you can. Because when you're trying to hit the ball as hard as you can pull the ball, you can hit it too much of a line drive and not get it over the fence. So I think that's why Cal Raleigh, again, we talked about this, what makes Cal Raleigh so good at hitting home runs in the MLB. It's not that he has the hardest swing in the world, but he's just so consistent on his launch angle and being able to just power the ball over the fence.
Yeah, you bring up a great point of Cal Raleigh just hits well, where O'Neal Cruz does have that power just because
O'Neal
he's
Cruz
just
was easily the strongest of the hitters, but that doesn't make you the best home run derby contestant.
Yeah, I'd be interested. Well, yeah, Caminero isn't strong. They were talking about bat speed, but yeah, O'Neal Cruz
Bat
definitely.
speed doesn't determine strength, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But yes, having a high bat speed does help.
yeah, and I'm just wondering. It's probably I'd be interested. Buxton, Caminero, and O'Neal Cruz, I think, are probably those stronger players.
Riley's pretty strong.
Yeah, just kind of like how
Even
hard
Rooker's
they
pretty
hit it.
strong.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't consider Jazz strong, which is maybe
No.
why he struggled in this competition.
yeah. Jazz to me is, it's not a guy when I think of home run guys.
That's
So-
true.
But yeah, but if you were just looking at before, it's like, okay, the guy with the most home runs on a historic pace for a catcher is going to win the home run derby, and it's like, well, that usually doesn't happen, and then it happened, even with
I'm
him
not-
getting
My
Mitch.
prediction, but congrats to Cal Raleigh. He's had a great year, and I just hope that this isn't like Judge in 2017, where he was in the home run derby and then started the second half extremely slow and ended up losing the MVP to Altuve, even though he should have won the MVP. But still, Judge in the second half of the season was a lot worse hitting wise, at least power wise, in the second half, and he blames that on the home run derby, and he always says that he will never do it again because he thought that it affected his swing and caused him to have such a bad second half. So
Yeah.
does that matter for Kyle Raleigh or not? I know Judge thinks it does. So that's the reason why he never will do it again.
Yeah, that's a great point because that did go through my head of like, oh, does this affect Caminero, who's a young player? That was someone I was thinking of because he had the most home runs in the first half, but he made it all the way to the final. But I do hope it doesn't mess with Cal Raleigh because I really want to see him break that record and just to see what it goes to, because he'll get the catcher's record most likely because
There's a good chance. He's like 12 away. I think he's 12 away from tying it, 13 from breaking it. Well, no, he's 10 away from tying it.
Yeah, because he's at 38 right now, right?
Yeah, he needs to get to 48, right, to tie.
Yeah, 48.
So he needs
yeah,
11.
To break it. Yeah. But yeah, it's shaping up to be an exciting second half for Cal Raleigh and, of course, Aaron Judge, as we already did a video about the MVP race. Make sure you follow that. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.